Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to be making this laptop sleeve. So let's get right into it. I already made out the cutout. Okay, when you are making out your cutout pieces, we only need two pieces of your faux leather or leather that you want to use. You need to measure your laptop. Okay, so for me, my own measurement, the width was 12 inches, and then the height was about 8 and almost 8.5 inches. Okay, and then the depth was about 3/4 of an eighth inches, right? Am I saying that right? So now I'm just going to add the depth of the laptop. I'm going to add it all over as an allowance. So I add it to the side, I add it to both sides, I add it to the bottom, and I add to the top. The top is actually optional. Anyway, so now I cut it out, made all the curves and everything, and I'm going to use this leather patches that I made. So you check our previous videos for how to make them. Making this part, I'm speeding this part up because I was trying to figure out where I'm going to place the patches, how I'm going to place it and everything. So it took a minute. Okay, it took a while for me to be able to get where I think was okay. And then after finding the perfect spot for each patch, I just go in with this leather glue to hold the pieces together. Okay, now for these leather patches, okay, in fact, there is a whole video on how to make a leather patch. Check all the videos on my channel. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, of course, and expect more videos like this from me. So anyway, this is how the leather patches are, and I've gone to sew them, so it's looking really okay. But the funny thing, when I was making this it started to look a little different. It didn't really come out as I had hoped it would, but it still looks very good. So now this is it. I'm going to use a satin lining. Okay, you can do yours without using a lining if your leather or faux leather is thick enough, or whatever kind of material that you want to use is thick enough. You do not necessarily have to use your lining. Okay, but I'm going to use a lining. You can use a leather lining, whatever kind of lining that you want to use, you can go ahead to use it. I'm marking out where I am going to apply my adhesive, and then just apply. So I'll apply on both pieces, apply also on the satin, and by the time it's dried excuse me, by the time it's dried, I just place them, rub them down, or you can go in with your leather roller or whatever kind of thing that you use. If you use your mallet or anything to make it okay, you can use your hand as well to smoothen it out. Okay, and after doing this is actually a very fun project that I encourage every leather crafter to try. It is super easy. You can be as creative as you want. You can add a flap, but just walk around the measurement of your laptop or the laptop that you are customizing for. And also, don't forget to add your sewing allowances. Okay, your sewing allowances, and then a little bit of an allowance for the laptop to go in and out easily. Okay, so it's not so difficult for the laptop to go in. So I'm cutting off all of the excess here. I know that I didn't turn it to where the leather is, but I was feeling my way while cutting this. Anyway, so I smoothen it out and then cut it out. I'm going to sew the top part of the front piece because by the time I merge all of them together, I would not get the chance, or it would be more difficult for me to sew the top piece because I'm using a flatbed machine. I think it might be easier if you're using a cylinder bed, but I'm using a flatbed machine. So I just sew the top piece, and then after sewing the top piece, look, I took my time to sew all of this. Okay, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in so much hurry to just sew it and get out of there. Take your time, especially when you have curves and pieces. The club on this, the club patch was very difficult. I had to take my time. Anyway, so to glue the two pieces together, I am just going to apply gum at the sides, the bottom, and then the other side. Okay, so both sides and the bottom. Please do not add adhesive to the top. Wherever you choose your top to be, please do not add adhesive. And you can see how I'm taking my time and I'm adding very little adhesive, just bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit, bit by bit. Okay, I am not rushing, and you can just, I'm using a very tiny metal stick, like a stick, a metal stick basically. I don't know how to explain it. So, or a spoolie, whatever kind of thing that you have. Okay, just apply your glue or adhesive very gently and mildly, and then you go edge to edge. You can also go middle to middle, but here I am using the edge, and I'm just going to smoothen it, making sure that edges, all of the edges are aligned. If you check my other videos, right, you would know that when it comes to making shoes, which I also do by the way, I ensure that if I have an excess, all of my excesses should be on one side. Okay, you can't have excesses on both ends, because then by the time you've cut out all of the excesses, it becomes very small. So you need to make sure that all of your excesses are on one side or one end of your project. So after doing this, you can go ahead to smoothing, burnish, dye, whatever kind of thing that you use for your edge finishing, or what, you know, you can leave it like that if the edge isn't so bad, and then you go ahead to sew all of the sides together carefully. Okay, you can reduce your stitching size, your stitch size. You can reduce all of that. You can use machine oil or any kind of, you know, machine oil basically, if your leather is too thick. In this case, my leather wasn't so thick, but I was using the machine oil because the needle I was using was very big and it was scarring the leather. Okay, so, or the faux, and then it was easier. It's easier when you have issues like that. Please try using a machine oil if you can't switch needles. Okay, and don't forget to backstitch at every end. And here we are, the final reveal.